broadcast mostly in Germany, and we are going to get starting shortly, as we are just going live shortly. Mostly in Germany, and we are going to get starting shortly, as we are. So thank you everyone for joining us wherever you are. We are now live on I can see we are on YouTube, so you feel free to invite everybody else as you and as we get started. Today is a very important day for all of us. We're celebrating us. It's all about us women, and I'm going to share with you also on the link as well on YouTube to share with everyone there. And some of you who are seeing me for the first time, my name is Joy Tsens. I am the team leader of the Africa Women Day here, the program that is mainly focusing on the awareness of the Africa Women's Day, that most of you are not aware. You're going to get to know more about it. And we do host quarterly panel discussions, and these coincidentally match very well in March, where we are able to coordinate with you, connect with you as well as we get started. So feel welcome. I hope you have your cup of coffee wherever you are. In the morning, the US people are welcome. And I'm going to start off right now. If you can stop sharing, Lumbi, then we can get started with the program of the day. And I'm very honored to have you here, all of you. Thank you for making time. I can see you're coming out from, you have written us on the chat from the US. Welcome, welcome. I can see that's Paola. I can see Marie from UK. Tanzania is also here. For Lillian, welcome. Alice from Kenya. Karibu. Bungai from the US as well. US team is well presented here. As we continue admitting more people to join us to get started, feel welcome. And today we are celebrating International Women's Day, and that's the best way we can do right now as we get started with the program of the day. So welcome everyone. And I am gladly going to give an opportunity for all of us here to feel welcomed. It's a day that we all have to celebrate us. And being the founder of Africa Women and a Power Woman who really have passion to empower women all over the world and across, especially Africa. And it's an honor to be with you here today. And today, as you can see, the lineup of the guest speakers, as you have been seeing, marketing around, we have a very big team with us today, and we are very honored to have them here with us. Some of them, you know them as Power Women. They're all CEOs that joined that have been with us for some time, and been celebrating with us. And the main theme, as you all see us celebrating, calling it a quarterly meeting, is a follow-up of the CEOs that we celebrated last year, and still celebrating this year as we move on to 2024, where we'll be sharing with you. We have a full program for you, so stay tuned. We have 2 hours to discuss with you and exchange with you, ask questions on the chat. We're also on YouTube. I've shared with you a link, share with your friends, because this is going to be a very powerful meeting. And some of you maybe will be asking for us, what are we discussing about? What is this relation of Africa's Women's Day and International Women's Day? As I said earlier, we celebrate all of women in the world, the Africa's Women's Day. I am very honored here, and I believe she is around here, our Honorable Grace Caballo, who is joining us from Uganda. And as you all know, we have been working very closely with Power. This is she is the Secretary General of the Pan-Africa Women Organization that is called Power. And Power is an organization that have been leading the Africa's Women Day, which is the 31st of July. Mark that on your calendar, 31st of July. And we, as a team that is helping to make this awareness. And I'm sure some of you, this is the first day you're hearing that. How best is it having her here with us? And I believe she's here as soon as I can see her camera. If you can put your camera on, Honorable Grace, I can see you just mentioned you're here. I hope you can hear me and can unmute yourself, because it was the last minute asking you to join us. It's easier to show people, the women who have been fighting for us for years, over 63 years. And I can tell you, it's a very, very powerful organization that have led to the Africa Union you know today. She'll be here to giving us an opening remarks, welcoming us, and also getting to know about their program. If she's here, let me know. Can you hear me, Grace? Kindly unmute yourself. And I cannot see your name there, but I know you have mentioned you're here already. Unless you have joined with another name, just unmute yourself so that we can get started. We want to hear from you, the powerful ladies who have been working behind the screen, and we are glad to hear from her. As soon as I get the green light, she's here. I can see we are also joined by Abigail, who is the lady behind the coordination of this work. Welcome, welcome. Please help me to spot Madam Grace Caballo. If she is here, let me know, and so that she can join and join us with this great discussion for today. So as we wait for her, let me know where you're listening us from. I can see the group is growing. I can see, as I said, we have US people here very early in the morning. Thank you. It's a Sunday. Some of us here, it's in the evening. Let us know where you're listening us from. Also give me a shout out if Grace, Honorable Grace Caballo is here. Let me know if she's here as well. Let me know where you're listening us from. It's very important for us to connect with you. We'll also be checking that on YouTube. If you're listening us on YouTube, we have shared with you a link where you can see, you can also share with others who are not able to join the Zoom. For whatever reason, we'll be happy to connect with you as well. So let me know whether you can hear us well, and let us know where we can see our UK is also well presented there. Thank you so much for making time. And as we wait for Grace to join, unfortunately, we seem she'd not be there. But what we're going to do, as soon as she's joined, I'm going to give her a chance and not to delay the program. Oh, I can see she's just joining now. Let me allow her to give her some few minutes as she gets to prepare herself to join us as we move on with the program of the day. And with me, I have very great ladies who are helping me in the background, and they will be introducing themselves as we come closer to the discussions of today and the program. They'll be leading it very strongly, and I'm very happy to have them on board, helping us to coordinate this activity that is ongoing especially this year we'll be having. I can see Grace, you're there. Welcome. You can unmute yourself. We are just waiting for you to settle, and as soon as you settle, unmute yourself and we can be able to relate with you. As I mentioned earlier, Honorable Grace Caballo is the Secretary General of the Pan-African Women Organization. They're guru women who have been fighting for us for over probably 100 years, you can imagine, and now going to 63, the one standing behind the Africa's, the Pan-African Women Organization, as well as African Women's Day that is celebrated every other. I can see she has joined us here. Let me add her on the I'll add her on the screen. Can you hear us? You can unmute yourself. I can see you and you're muted. Can you hear us, Madam?
I can hear you.
Okay, yes, I can hear and I can see you. Welcome. I'm very honored to have you here at the last minute call, and you jumped on it and said, yes, we cannot host this International Women's Day with the Africans without having you on board. So welcome, and thank you so much for your time. I give you all the stage to welcome my people here. They're also on YouTube, waiting to hear about the guru women that have been fighting very hard in Africa in the political area. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Joy. I'm so humbled and privileged to be here. You know very well whenever you call, you ladies in the diaspora, you really are thick, you know? You give me the morale to keep pushing, to go on, because we know transition is happening. With you following us, with us having followed others, transition is a reality, and we are very, very proud of you. I want to congratulate you and all your team for having made this effort. It's never easy, but the struggle for women can never stop. And failing really is about failing to try. So keep going and keep pushing. I bring you greetings and love from the Pan African Women Organization. Uh, just at the day before yesterday, we were celebrating the International Women's Day. And I'm so happy that you have made your activity at least separate from that. That enables us to join you. But normally, when we do it on the same date, you end up clashing and missing here and missing there. But thank you for having been flexible and made it possible for us to join you. This year, the Pan African Women Organization, maybe for the benefit of those who don't really know about POW, Pan African Women Organization is the oldest women organization on the continent that started as the Pan African Women Movement for freedom fighting and independence to decolonize the continent. It was then recognized and officially launched in Tanzania in 1962. We go from then joining other groups that come up with all other responsibilities and goals because we believe that the women's struggle is so broad, you can never exhaust it. Secondly, we have this slogan that says that many fronts, one front, many, branches like. Okay, the struggle is one and the fronts are many. So it is actually one struggle, many fronts. So when we have young people like you, when we have people in the diaspora feeling it's important to recognize the women in different categories, we really get energized. And having struggled that far and long, eventually we earned the status of the specialized agencies of the African Union. So we actually have a liaison office at the AU. We have our headquarters in Pretoria. We have regional offices on the continent. One that is, excuse me. Can you hear me, Joy? Can you still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, we can.
So we have 5 regions, which is West Africa under Mali, and their secretariat is in Niger. We have Northern Africa in Algeria, with a secretariat in Egypt. We have Central Africa in Cameroon. We have South Africa, SADC in Angola, but the vice president sits is South African. SADC in Angola, but the vice president sits is South African. SADC in Angola. I'm echoing, Joy.
Oh, sorry about that. It's fine now. We are okay now. We are okay with that.
Thank you so much. So this year we are actually targeting the diaspora. So get ready, girl. Okay? We are targeting the diaspora, and most likely the event will be in Canada because Canada has been engaging us a lot. And that will be our kickoff with the diaspora. And I pray that you will be there. We are hoping to sign an MOU with you this year, remember? So I'm at it, and I believe that before June, you'll have got the communication and we'll agree on when to sign the MOU so that Everything is legal. I don't have to be there. Whoever takes on from me will find you in place. I'm excited about that. You know, we are already partners with SOAD, the State of the African Diaspora. We are partners with a GMAC, Gender is My Agenda campaign. That was started specifically for the gender parity. And that is where we needed, you know, at least 50-50 gender parity for the women. The struggle continues and it can never stop because we are not yet there. So on this day when you celebrate the International Women's Day, I need to congratulate you because however much we could have fought for the political independence is a joke without economic independence. And the earlier we really get serious, the better. True, most of the fights and the struggles of women are because they are not financially independent. So when I see people like you in entrepreneurship handling that angle, I get so excited. We have the West African market women. We have the East African market women. You know about them. Engage them. Bring them aboard. I'm excited when we sign the MOU so that we can combine our work plans and the priority areas. I forgot to mention that my president is Ma'am Eunice Ipinge. She's Namibian. And because of COVID, we had to create a presidential office in Namibia, in Windhoek. And VP for SADC is Batabile Dlamini. We have us Sakiliba for Vice President of West Africa in Mali. We have Mama Kama, Vice President in Cameroon. And we have Ambassador Mary Kimulu, Kenyan for East Africa. The Secretariat is in Tanzania. So we are excited really having you people in the diaspora bridging the gap. Bridging that gap is very exciting. I might not have a lot of time to stay with you, but I'm so humbled and privileged to have been given this minute to say something. I will try to follow, but I also thank you for recording most of this because even if I don't follow closely today, I will find time to catch up and be updated on your great revelations. Thank you so much. You all look beautiful. And I look forward to meeting you one day. Enjoy
Thank you.
yourselves.
Thank you so much for your time, and we appreciate all that small history. We'll be coming back to you, all our listeners. We will be having a special space for you to come and give us those history, the 63 years, what you have been doing. We are going to start a program on you once we get the MOU, so that this history is known, and the children of our children we can continue replacing, because I know your group is a group that is ready for young people or like us, and I'm looking forward to that partnership. Thank you so much for your time.
We actually have younger ones than you because we have
Thank
the university and educational institution networks. Those are younger. We are trying to have transition
you.
in place so that we are unstoppable. Go, go, girls. Best of
Thank
luck
you.
and
Thank you.
love you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. So thank you for that. That was our opening part for these the celebration of International Women's Day, as we celebrate a lot of women out there. And I'm going to hand over the program that is going to be run by none other but than our core, the lady behind the work you see here, coordinating the Africa Women's Day, and as well as all the webinar, Adieza Bunia. I call her Abigail, and I'm really, really honored to have her here because she's a lady, younger, as you heard, younger people, we have to do transition. She is now joining in our team and has been with our team as a young person, really taking care of this work all the way from Nigeria. So welcome, and I hand over you the program, and you're looking forward to a great exchange program. Thank you for now.
Thank you so much, Joy. Can you hear me? I hope I'm really audible and clear.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you so much. It's always great to have you in our midst, Honorable Grace Caballo. I learned so much from you. Thank you so much for all the great work you've been doing. And we're so glad to just keep following in your footsteps. Thank you so much. So I want to say good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to our distinguished, esteemed panelists. We're so glad to have you here. Good afternoon to everyone that has made out time to join us today. My name is Abigail Adeze. As Joy has already introduced, I'm the project coordinator for this awareness program, and it's my pleasure to be with you again today. We're really honored to have Right Honorable Grace Caballo give us a brief history about the Pan-African Women's Organization. As you know, what we're doing here at Africa Women's Day Awareness is to keep raising awareness of this day, and just to let a lot more African women know about this day, which happens to be every 31st of July, and also to learn about the great works that our mothers have done and to carry on that legacy. And I would like to say that ever since we started this awareness project, precisely in 2021, it's been really fantastic because we've been able to open the eyes of a lot of people and also discover a lot of resilient African women who are doing amazing things in various sectors, various fields. And with each awareness project each year, we have a theme that we tend to focus around and celebrate women in that area. And as we all know, if you attended last year's awareness event, which was on the 31st of July, we'll be posting some links in the chat. So please feel free to catch up. All the links and all the videos are on our YouTube page, so you can watch the very inspirational session. We also were privileged to have Madam Grace Caballo there last year as well, giving us a lot more detailed history about Powell. So please do well to catch up with that. So we work around the theme, the awareness theme for that year. And as at last year, our theme was Empowered Women, Empowered Africa. So we're focusing on African female founders and CEOs, spotlighting them and showcasing the work that they're doing in various fields. And I must say, it's been so inspirational for me because I've discovered a lot of African women all across the continent, even beyond the continent, doing amazing things. So this is just a little brief introduction or brief history about how this awareness project has been going on. And just like you've heard, we're so glad that we get to actually work with the mothers, the Pan-African Women's Organization, who set this footprint for us to follow.
I think we've lost Abigail. Is that right? Are you there? Okay. We'll give a few minutes. Is Madame Lumbi there? Welcome as well, Madame Lumbi. You've been working together also very closely. Let me know whether you're here as well and you can hear us so that we can continue with the program.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, great.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome again. I'm going to hand over also to you, a lady who has been doing amazing work, marketing the work of us, Africa Women's Day. As soon as she heard about what we do, she was ready to get us started and support us in the background in all ways. And thank you so much for that and being our supporters, Madame Lumbi Mlambo. And I'm going to hand over to you as we wait for Abigail to continue with the program as we support her. She got disconnected. I hand over to you.
Okay. I'm going to first of all, thanks everyone for being here. It's a pleasure. Before I continue, I want to show you what we did last year. I'm going to play this video that is very inspirational, since this theme is about inspiring other women. So I want us to be inspired, to feel, motivated enough, and to feel like, and to know that we are very powerful as women. We have the drive, we have what it takes to change the world. So this video that I'm going to share with you right now, I hope it inspires you as we kick off the program. So let me go ahead and share now. I hope I'm able, yeah, there it is. Okay, I'm gonna do full screen. Let me know if you can hear this sound. Start from the beginning, sorry. Okay, I think maybe there was a glitch with the internet. I could hear it on my side. I don't know about you guys. It didn't sound like it was flawless, but we'll run it again later on. So let me see what the next thing is on our agenda. So that is, first of all, is our host ready? Is she back for us to hand over that to her?
Unfortunately, she's
Or do you
not
want me
in,
to?
but you can go ahead. But maybe something I
Okay.
needed to do for people to get to know you so that you get started. That was the part that she was supposed to introduce you and
Yeah.
as you take over the program, because now we're going now to the discussion with the guest speakers. As we wait for her, I'll take over that part from her side. And I want to, as I said, thank you so much for the time you have made to be here with us and supporting us in the background. Some of you who doesn't know, Madam CEO and Coach Janine is from Zimbabwe and born and impact entrepreneur from Generation X. Dedicated herself to clean water initiatives and empowering women and girls. She was inspired by her reverend humanitarian father. She embarked on a remarkable journey to continue his legacy. Lumbi founded the 501c3 nonprofit JB Dondolo focusing on clean water access to improve health and economical opportunities for underserved women and girls, particularly in Africa. Passionate about the United Nations Sustainability Development Goals, Lumbi advocates for global change, emphasizing the transformative power of knowledge. A dedicated volunteer, she serves as a judge for Africa Business Heroes, hub led for Tony Elumulu Foundation, and participate in initiatives like 10 times 100 Tech for Inclusion and New Era Youth for Africa and NEA. Lumbi commitment to royalty, also to the Lottery International showcases her diverse involvement in impactful initiatives, solidifying her status as an influential and compassionate figure. So we celebrate you today, and as a woman who is doing amazing work in the water industry, as in your community as well, and celebrating you for also all the achievement that you have done, and looking forward to going through the program with you today and introducing our guest speakers today as we go on throughout the day. Thank you so much. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Joy, for that lovely introduction. Sometimes I wonder when my introduction is being read, if it's me, because I feel like, wow, who's that woman who's accomplished so much? It's amazing because behind every woman, there's a village. You know, they say behind every woman, there's a man. Yes, it's true. But I also say behind every woman, there's a village. And this village of women and men and youth, everybody, has actually created who I am today. So I'm really, really happy with where I am, inspiring hope throughout the world through water, making sure that the women and girls in Zimbabwe and all over the world have access to clean water, something that we take for granted, but not everybody has it, you know, until you're hit with it and until you realize that you really don't have water. As women, we use a lot of water for our own needs, for our hygienic needs, for our menstrual administration needs, for a lot of things. So it's amazing. And I'm truly, truly happy to say that working with so many people, including this organization, Africa's Women's Day, working with Joy and Abigail and Coach Janine, how this has empowered me from the time I started last year as a speaker, as a guest speaker, just being invited and not even knowing about this organization. And when I came here and I saw how wonderful this organization was, welcoming every woman and every man, and just everybody, I found a place, I can say I found a place and I felt at home, you know, to say I am proud to support this organization that supports Africans, because it is a big thing these days that we have something that we can call our own, you know, uplifting each other, building each other up, and building in Africa. As you know, my coach and my mentor, Tony Elumelu Foundation, you know, they are building in Africa, and I'm happy to build with them. I feel empowered by the Tony Elumelu Foundation to help others, other entrepreneurs, and everybody else to feel empowered to build in Africa and to be their best. And for that reason, I can say that, you know, I'm very happy today that I'm actually part of this organization, helping out and doing everything that they need. And together, we will make this organization great and big and empower many people. So today's theme is inspiring, inspiring inclusion. So I feel included. I hope that today you feel included. And my goal is to include as many women as possible. And I will, because I know that, because I'm already doing that. They call me the water lady. and I embrace that name because I love it. But also I'm a connector. I connect people, and I hope that I'll be able to connect you, and I'll be able to connect with you as well. So thank you for being here today. I look forward to having this amazing day celebrating you and everybody that is actually impacted the world. So thank you, Joy. Back to you.
Thank you for that. And I'm going to, I've seen our coordinator is here, the moderator as well. And we're going to now get started with the discussion. Abigail, I hope you're there. You can hear me. I think you've
Yes,
joined.
I am.
Yes,
I
hand over to you as we continue with the next part of the program of the interviewing of the guest speakers.
Okay. Thank you so much, Joy. Apologies for that. I got kicked out. My network seems to be a little bit unstable. However, we keep pushing because we're resilient African women. So I'm just going to go on to introduce our panelists. First of all, I just want to talk briefly about the theme, which we know is innovating for impact, the strategies and success stories of African female entrepreneurs. We need to understand, or we have need to discuss this theme because we would like to understand how African female CEOs and founders leverage innovation to drive meaningful change in their industries and communities. As we all know, innovation is very important. It's about thinking of new ways to do things, not just maintaining the status quo. And we're looking to inspire more people here. As much as we're creating awareness about Africa's Women's Day, we're also hoping that we can be a platform of inspiration. And I would like to go ahead and introduce our first panelist, CEO Awamari Lowikan. Are you there? Good afternoon. Apologies if I pronounced your name wrongly. Just confirm that I pronounced that right, please. Awamari?
It's Awamari.
Awamari, nice to have you here. Well,
thank you.
Welcome.
Thank
so
you.
I'll just go ahead and just thank you so much. So I'll go ahead and just read your profile briefly so that our audience know the amazing personality that we have in our midst. So CEO Awamari Lowikan is a trailblazing entrepreneur and CEO who hails from the Gambia. Born of a Spanish mother and a Gambian father, raised in the Gambia, Africa's smallest mainland nation, she embarked on a remarkable journey of empowerment and leadership. At the age of 17, she left her home country to pursue higher education in the United States, where she obtained a BSc in Business Administration from Shaw University in Raleigh, North Carolina, and an MBA from Upper Iowa University. Her commitment to continuous learning led her to complete an executive education program at Harvard University and earned a nonprofit management leadership certificate from Duke University. In 2018, Awamari returned to the Gambia, driven by a deep desire to effect transformative change. She established the Woman Boss and the Disruptive Lab under the Innovative Gambia umbrella, amongst other business ventures. The Woman Boss is dedicated to empowering women and girls by fostering entrepreneurship, innovation, and leadership. With a focus on tackling societal challenges such as gender-based violence and traditional gender roles, the Woman Boss equips women with the skills, knowledge, and confidence to become successful entrepreneurs and leaders. The Disruptive Lab serves as a hub for Gambian tech entrepreneurs, providing acceleration, incubation, and co-working space to nurture their innovative ventures. Awamari's commitment to championing women's empowerment and fostering innovation extends beyond the Gambia. She has initiated projects in several African countries, including Nigeria, Rwanda, South Africa, Tanzania, and Uganda. Through her tireless efforts, she has mentored and empowered thousands of women and girls, transforming their lives and inspiring them to embrace their potential. Through her organizations, she continues to shape the landscape of leadership, break barriers, and empower the next generation of women leaders in Africa. CEO Awamari Lowikan, it's great to have you here again. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure being here. I'm glad to be here today.
Thank you very much. So I'll just go ahead and ask you our first question. It's great that the topic today is innovating for impact, and from everything I've read about your profile, you're just doing that. You're, so innovative. You're doing a lot of things in your country. Could you please share a story where your innovative approach addressed a pressing social or environmental challenge, thereby creating meaningful change within your community? Would love to know about that.
Sure. Again, good afternoon or good morning, wherever you are. Such a pleasure being here, and thank you for having me. Currently, if you're in Africa or if you're aware with so much going on, especially African news, specifically the Gambia, we have an issue with FGM, which is female genital mutilation. And we have a law that was enacted in 2015 that is prohibiting female genital mutilation. And so, unfortunately, in 2023, last year, we had a group within the Islamic Council trying to repeal this law. And so we have been fighting. It's been a very big fight for us, even though there's a law protecting girls supposedly, but it's still being done. So we've been creating a lot of innovative ways to bring awareness to this. So some of the things that we're doing right now is going through schools and through the grassroots movement. So we are going from rural parts of the Gambia, all the way to urban side, and going into elementary, primary schools, into high schools, educating them, offering resources on what the law says, but furthermore, the effects of FGM, and not only involving boys, but not involving girls, but also engaging boys in this conversation. That because boys become fathers later in life, and how do we change this system? So with trying to fight policy right now, as it is right now in the game, is a very hot topic because they might be voting against it next week. So, and it's something that was not done before, to go into the schools. And so we thought that was a very innovative way to get into the communities without just going into where moms are, or mothers clubs and so on. We figured, going into schools is a way to really impact change, because our population in the Gambia has an average of 16. Very young, very, very young population. So if we want to really impact change, we have to go in and to do that. So I don't know if other African countries are suffering this, but in the Gambia, it's a really big topic. That's what really comes to mind, because it's the newest thing that we're working on, but we've worked on so many innovative things, whether it's especially in entrepreneurship, whether it's through agriculture or entrepreneurial pop-up markets that we bring rural women with urban women, trying to create this great space for them where they can do, in the Gambia they call it lumas, but it's like a farmer's market where they come in and sell their ideas. So to create visibility and engagement between them. So there's definitely different ways that we've done, but the one that's really impactful and it's impacting policy right now would be the FGM. So hopefully I answered that for you.
Much. That's really important because it's amazing. In 2024, we find that we need to do a lot more, create more awareness about certain topics or certain issues that have been existing within our communities for years, especially as Africans. And I think that's something that that we really need to talk about because that shouldn't be happening now. So thank you so much for doing that. That's really amazing. And we'll just be coming back to you with more questions. However, we'll just get to talk about or introduce our next panelist. See you, Lumbi, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Okay, so with the next person we have amongst us is Shulu Chancellor. So if you should please like to go ahead and introduce her.
Okay. Let me go ahead just 1 second here. Okay. First of all, is Shulu Shansa here?
Yeah, I think she's here.
Okay, great. Wonderful.
She's here. Great.
Okay. Okay, I did see that it was Abigail who was supposed to, but let me go ahead and introduce Shulu Shansa. So Shulu is the founder of Africana Women, which exists to help African women embody self-love, health, and wealth. She is a wellness entrepreneur, speaker, mental health advocate, mentor, and award-winning podcaster. Shula's superpower is creating safe spaces for difficult conversations. She has a passion for empowering African women with practical tools to thrive in all aspects of life: work, personal, spiritual, and social. She has lived in Europe, in the USA, and traveled extensively, and is currently based in Hwabe, Zambia. Because of her diverse experiences abroad and within Zambia, she was inspired to create Africana Women, a safe place for women to have an open and vulnerable conversations about wellness. Since 2020, Africana Woman has grown into a vibrant community, global community for African women of different countries, ages, races, creeds, and backgrounds. Among its services are the visionary membership, retreats, book club, podcast, and blog. In 2022 and 2023, the Africana Woman podcast won APVA's Best Society and Culture Podcast in Africa. Wow. It has been nominated for 3 other awards, including Health and Wellness, Advocacy, and Social Change. In 2023, she was the first Zambian to take a podcast to tour across the country and sold out all 3 cities. She has spoken on wellness at the Courage to Heal conference, UNIZ Insights, the network of Zambians in the UN abroad, Podcast Movement, Tech Up Women UK, University of Lusaka, and on the numerous international podcasts as a guest. Shulu is also a Davis Scholar, Yali Southern African Fellow, founder of Exceptional Youth Zambia, CNC Africa representative in the United World Congress International Council. Not forgetting, nominee for Best Wedding Cake Designer in Zambia in 2019. Wow. Shulu, welcome.
Thank you.
As your first question, obviously your profile is remarkable and it's just wow. I'm so inspired. Your first question, as an entrepreneur, how do you balance the need for innovation with the importance of maintaining consistency and reliability in your services?
So thank you so much for the invitation to come and speak today. I am very excited to connect with many of you. I am a creative. I'm a storyteller at heart. I tell stories through many mediums, and currently one of the ways that I tell stories is through podcasting. And I think as a creative, one of the things that we need to be mindful of is, not jumping around and getting distracted by shiny object syndrome. It's so easy to say, oh, here's a new project. Oh, let me try and do this. Let me try and innovate in this way. So I think I personally have had to learn how to, hold back and not try and be overly innovative in the things that I'm doing. So to answer your question, I think what has been very important for Africana women is to, one, establish what our services are and and the quality of the way that we deliver them. Those are uncompromisable, right? So when people come and engage with Africana women, they're expecting a certain standard, a certain level of quality of engagement, of the way we deliver the things that we do. So that we have to keep constant. And then when it comes to innovation, like I said, I try not to go wild with it. We tend to,
we tend to do things where we'll tweak things every year, and then we'll assess and see what has really worked, what didn't work, what could we improve on. But the idea is not to completely change our products and our services, but to just really enhance them in a way that that benefits everybody involved. And one of the things that our business is really based on is community. We are always talking to the women that we engage with. This is direct contact. This is feedback in real time that allows us to then adapt and then be able to service and serve them in the way that they need, instead of us making assumptions about what they need. So we just make small tweaks every year. It's not, we're not trying to, change the whole thing up. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it does. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Yeah, that's great. So I think the next person to engage here is going to be.
Yeah,
I'll pass it on to you, Abigail. Is that you?
Yeah.
Or questioning?
No, it's me. Fine. It's me.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Siolungi. Thank you also, Chilichansa. That's amazing. Learning how you're also running your business and the impact you're making as well is great to know. Thank you so much. We'll be back to you shortly with another question. But let me just go on right now to introduce our next panelist, who happens to be from Nigeria, CEO, founder, Akinlabi Oladimeji. Good afternoon. It's great to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon. Good morning.
Thank you. Morning. Okay, so Akinlabi Oladimeji is a Nigerian American that has always been passionate about seeking opportunities to add value in West Africa. Growing up, she was shocked to find out that most of her favorite childhood products in Nigeria were not made in Nigeria or even in West Africa. To that end, throughout her formal education and professional experience, maintained a peripheral interest in made in Africa products that progressively evolved into a keen interest to be part of the ecosystem. In 2019, she made a bold decision to move to Ghana. The decision was inspired by her interest to explore the thriving technology landscape and also learn about factors that make the region a key player in exports of commodities around the world. While living in Ghana, she learned about the disparities in the cocoa industry, from deforestation to child labor to farmer poverty. Equipped with that knowledge and the motivation to support cocoa farmers and their communities in West Africa, she felt compelled to make a change. This led her to create Luji's Chocolates, a premium, ethically sourced, all-natural chocolate brand produced entirely in West Africa and distributed to the US. Again, it's great to have you here, Akinlabi Oladimeji.
Thank you. Thank you. I just want to make sure, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can. Okay. Yes. Good, great. It's so great to have you here. So, chocolate again. I must say that recently I've, been coming across a lot of Africans who are going into producing chocolate more and more and more. And I must say that I'm really, really excited about it because from what I know, it's usually European countries. When you talk about chocolate, you think Switzerland, you think other countries, but it's interesting to know that we have the raw materials here in Africa. And so why are we not doing anything about it? So I think it's amazing that you ventured into this. And also talking about innovating for impact. We know that innovation is about coming up with a new idea and seeing a need and then coming up with an idea that solves that need. So basically creating value. So please tell us, can you share a specific instance where your innovation or innovative approach led to significant impact or growth within your business venture?
Yes, I definitely can. Yes, good morning, everyone. It's so lovely to be speaking here today. I'm really excited. And to hear from all the other women on the panel so far, I've just been like inspired by your bios, by what you said. And I also love how you said my name, by the way, Ni Akinlabiola Meji. I was like, wow, sounds good. um, but like I said, thank you so much. As far as how we've been able to actually, can you say the last part of the question again? I want to make sure I don't miss it.
Oh yeah, sure. So could you tell us about or give us an instance where your innovative approach led to a significant impact or growth within your business venture?
Yeah, similar to you, I've also lately been seeing a lot of, like you mentioned, West Africans especially taking on chocolate production, which I think is so inspiring. And it's part of why we also wanted, why I wanted to found Luigi's Chocolate to be part of that, because we have the raw materials it's produced in West Africa. I think over 70% of cocoa is actually grown in West Africa. But last I heard, I think less than 1% of chocolate is actually manufactured there, which is, it's a wild statistic and it doesn't actually make any sense because we have access to it. And then as far as innovation, like you mentioned, chocolate is something, I mean, we've eaten chocolate, most of us, since we've been kids. So the actual notion of creating chocolate, it's not something new. It's something that's already been done. You can buy machinery to be able to actually implement it. But at every step of the way, no matter the business venture, you can always add a little bit of innovation and something into to be able to have further impact. So, for us, of course, that's focused on producing in West Africa. But a biggest thing is because we're actually made in West Africa, we're also able to do impact activities, especially connected to farmers. So as part of our launch and what we do, for every bar sold, we actually distribute a cocoa seedling to the farmer who actually helped grow our cocoa. So I think to answer your question, what we do is we actually give back for every chocolate sold. And so that's something a little bit that it's had a lot of impact, with the farmers that we partner with. But surprisingly, you also find that consumers are more willing to spend more. They're more interested in kind of championing you as a brand because your brand is directly tied to some impact. And so that means every time they buy a Luigi's chocolate bar, they know like, oh, I'm actually giving something back to the farmer who made this. So that's just a small bit of innovation. It's still just the chocolate that we're selling, but that little bit of change in our business model, I think, has been really proved impactful. And we hear a lot of customers say, I love the taste. That's the most important thing. But the fact that I'm making impact as I'm eating this bar is why I keep going back. So that's just something that I think answers your question.
Wow, thank you so much. That's amazing. And it's just interesting to know that it's getting back to the source. So these farmers who are producing this cocoa, it's not just that they're putting it out there and you take their work, or maybe it's going back to them eventually. So that's about making impact as well. And that's really great to know. Thank you about that. Thank you so much for that. So I'll hand over back to CEO Lumbi to introduce our next panelist, and we'll still come back with more questions to get to know you all better.
Ian, I really love your story. I always do, and I still want your chocolate. I tasted it once at the Tony Edumelo Foundation event when we were at the UN General Assembly. When you spoke, I tasted it once, and I still want to taste more because it was beautiful then. And yeah, so thank you for inspiring, creativity and entrepreneurship in Africa. So let's go on to the next panelist, and that's going to be Bongai. Bongai, you're here? Please, if you can turn on your camera and if you're here, so we can. Okay.
I am here. Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, wonderful. So I'm here to make sure that I get your name right because I know how to pronounce it. I can click. So, so CEO Bongai Mhloi. Okay. Yep. So yes. Bongai Mhloi is the founder and CEO of End Child Marriages. She was born and raised in Zimbabwe. She came to the United States in 1985 and obtained her bachelor's degree in social relations and a master's degree in special education. She worked in social services for more than 25 years. Wow. Growing up in Zimbabwe, she witnessed child marriage in her family, where her 75-year-old grandmother married a 12-year-old girl. Let that sink for a moment. Today, she's a passionate founder dedicated to empowering the girls through education via her nonprofit organization and child marriages. She is committed to breaking the barriers and fostering a brighter future for young girls. CEO Mhloi is dedicated to ending child marriages, advocating for girls, advocating for the rights and well-being of girls through education and empowerment. Since 2010, the organization has helped more than 140 girls, 140 girls, wow, to stay in school and have an opportunity to make a choice about their lives. In her words, our goal is to end child marriages in our communities around the globe. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with others. That's an African proverb that she quotes. Miss Mongai, you and I've known you, I would say, most of my life. And I've known you to be very passionate about girls. And your story is so inspirational to me. And every time I read it, I feel like crying. Because I imagine if that was me, what would I do? You know, so thank you for for sharing your story. I hope I don't cry. I promise I won't cry. But thank you so much. I want to go to your question right away and ask you to talk about how you took the bold step to establish end child marriages and how it contributed to your entrepreneurial journey.
Wow. Thank you so much, Lumbi, for that lovely introduction. And thank you for having this platform that we can share our passions. And I'm just glad to be here sharing the spot with all of these amazing women. And like you said, Lumbi, it is my passion to end child marriages. So like you said in my introduction, I did witness child marriages where my grandfather married that 12-year-old girl. And when I think about it, that girl could have been me, but thank God it wasn't me. But when I was growing up and looking at her face to see how miserable she was to be with my grandfather who was 75, we can all imagine at 12 years old. And when you look at a 75-year-old man, I mean, that's like, you know, that's your grandfather, and to be told that this is going to be your husband and it's not your choice. You are just told to go and stay at this man's house. That's heartbreaking. And what it does psychologically, emotionally to this child is unbearable. So I did see this young, not a woman, she's a girl. And when she was left at my grandfather, we kind of developed a friendship with her. So I witnessed her, you know, growing for the 2 years that she stayed with my grandfather. She was miserable the whole entire time. She couldn't play with other kids, like she couldn't play with us because she was now considered to be a married wife, but she's a child. So that alone, as I continued to look at her, this is like a long story. So to make this long story short, this young girl, we cahooted with her to have her run away from my grandfather. So at the end of the 2 years that she stayed there, we managed to have her run away, and we ended up telling that she ran away after 3 months so that we make sure that she was safe. So she did run away, but that girl, she never left my mind. She never left my heart. and I couldn't help her at that time. I was a child myself, so I couldn't do anything. So growing up all these years, and then by the time I came here to the United States, that girl stayed on my mind. And as I started working as a social worker, I wanted to do something to help girls that are in this situation. I was fortunate enough, I wasn't in that situation, but there are so many girls that are in this situation. Lumbi and other people on this panel, you are from Zimbabwe, and even from other African countries, this is still happening. And we look at it, we say, okay, this is 2024. We are still talking about child marriages. We will think this is something that was happening years ago, but unfortunately it's happening today. So I decided myself that, this is something that I'm passionate about. I want to do this. And I started my nonprofit organization based on this story from this lady. Her name was Lucia. I can still see her face today in my mind. So I wanted to do something to help these young women. That's when I started my nonprofit organization. And in her honor, because she really inspired me to do something to help these girls. So her story alone was the one that made me take this big step to do what I'm doing today, to try to end child marriages, to try to work with communities. And Lumbi, you said earlier that it's a village behind every woman's success. Of course, there is a village behind me. I'm not doing this by myself. And there's no way I can be helping more than 140 girls by myself. There is a village behind me. So I'm fortunate enough that as I talk about my story, as I talk about this young lady's story, people are willing and people want us to collaborate and end this pandemic and break this cycle of poverty, give these girls skills so that they can support themselves. We don't want a community or a country or a world that's full of women without skills, without an education, without nothing. So it is my passion to help these girls. And I hope I answered your question, Lumbi. Thank you so much.
Yes, you did. And thank you for stepping up really from the time you were young to help this young girl, 12-year-old. Because if it wasn't because of you, she'll still be married, maybe not anymore. But I mean, you saved her life. And thank you for everything that you're doing. Really remarkable work. At this time, I would like to move on to the next person. I think I'm back to you, Abigail.
Yes, thank you, CEO Lumbi. Thank you again, CEO Bongai. That's when you were speaking, I was thinking about what I was doing at the age of 12. Thank you for what you do. Thank you. It's great to be here. I must say I'm inspired by all our amazing panelists. So just to move on to introduce our fifth and last panelist, CEO Nelly Cheboy from Kenya. From growing up, is she here? Are you here, CEO Nelly Cheboy?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, glad to have you. Thank you for joining us. Glad to have you here. Okay, so let me just go ahead and talk to us briefly about this amazing woman in our midst. From growing up in hardship in rural Kenya to becoming a game changer in the digital world. Nelly Cheboy's journey is a testament to the power of determination and the transformative potential of education. Faced with the challenges of basic sustenance and limited opportunities, Nelly's life took a remarkable turn when she earned a full scholarship at Augustana College in Illinois to pursue her dreams in the United States. While working odd jobs to support her family, she discovered her true passion, computer science. With a newfound vision to break the cycle of intergenerational poverty, she devised a groundbreaking plan. Her mission: harness the digital economy to unlock global opportunities for rural Africans. And so she founded TechLit Africa, a nonprofit organization in 2018, along with Tyler Cinnamon. This innovative organization breathes new life into discarded computers, transforming them into tools of empowerment. In primary schools across Africa, TechLit Africa upcycles these old computers, teaching vital digital skills to students. They have built 10 computer labs in rural Kenya through their efforts, benefiting 4,000 students and 20 teachers. Wow. And I'm sure the number is still growing. Nelly's relentless drive and visionary approach have not gone unnoticed. She has rightfully earned a place on the prestigious Forbes 30 under 30 list and was hailed as CNN Hero of the Year in 2022. Her relentless pursuit of change is fueled by a deep-rooted commitment to reshaping the lives of those facing similar hardships to her upbringing. Driven by her passion, she later established AWD School in Kenya, where TechLink Africa took its first steps toward creating a brighter future. I'm highly inspired. Thank you so much, CEO Nelly Cheboy, for being here with us. Again, it's great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So, innovation. I'm so glad because this panel alone is innovation, if you ask me. I'm so glad we have this panel because it goes along with that theme. Thank you so much for being here to all our amazing panelists. So CEO Nelly Cheboy, could you just elaborate more on TechLink Africa and the positive outcomes it has yielded in your community or for your community?
Thank you. That's a wonderful question. So I grew up here in Mogotio, and the question that keep bothering me even as a kid is like, why are we poor? I do not really understand why. Like, there's just so much pain, so much suffering in the continent. I did not get it. Like, what is it about us that we're just constantly suffering? And as I got older and started reading about books, I really understood that, okay, there was a lot of things that are at play. Like, we missed out on the Industrial Revolution. We don't have the infrastructure to even, like, let's say, take on manufacturing. We don't even have the financial infrastructure for a small business to get a loan and become a really business where they can employ people. And so it's a constant, like, systemic issues that continue to keep us poor. And I really wanted, growing up in poverty myself, I really want to take a stab at that. And it's such a big problem. Like, how do you fix our financial infrastructure? How do you create infrastructure all over just to enable manufacturing and things like that? And as I was pondering about that, I came across digital infrastructure, and I realized that we already have a lot of established economies, America, Europe, and I really wanted to find a way to leverage that economy. So we have seen a lot of outsourcing go to India, for example, or to South America. And I was like, why not Mogotio? Why not rural Kenya? And so what we do at TechLink Africa is we want, when our students graduate high school, to be able to work remotely with these companies all over the world. It doesn't require a lot of infrastructure. All you need is just a laptop, the internet, and the skills. And this is where we come in. We provide the skills. So we start with these kids when they are 8 years old, teaching them about coding, building websites, robotics. And by the time they're 15, they're just wizards. Some of these kids, I have no idea what they're doing. I don't even have anything to teach them because they have been growing up with this technology every single day, and they're learning very purposefully. So that's what TechLink Africa does in a nutshell, is to leverage the digital economy to provide opportunities for rural Africa to make a living in the digital space.
Amazing. Maybe it's just me, but I don't think people understand, because I'm thinking, because I've gone through your profile, your work, and I see the young kids you're working with, primary school. I'm just wondering if I had the chance to be a lot more educated about technology at that age. I don't know. I think I would have been on a very different level by now. So you're literally setting these kids up for an excellent future. I don't think they even understand what the amazing benefits they have now gaining those digital skills.
I'll just paint a picture. Just yesterday, we had an astronaut in our community. So we had someone who is going to space in September come and visit them and talked to them about like space engineering, going to space, and they did a lot of like STEM education. And at the end of the call, the kids were, at the end of the interaction of the 2 days interactions, the kids was like, okay, I am going to space. And today they've been building like rockets, like with Lego kits, they're building rockets. So these kids are interacting with astronauts. Like, going to space to them is just like, oh yeah, I can go to space. That's just how crazy TechLink is.
Amazing. You're doing amazing. Thank you so much for inspiring these kids. And I really hope that this also extends beyond, and I know it will, because you're doing amazing already, the recognition you're getting as well. So thank you so much for this work. We're going to come back to you shortly. So I'll just go back to the first panelist. I'll just go back to our first panelist, CEO our Mary. Thank you also for your patience. And I really hope this session, you know, just like we said in the chat, please feel free to drop your questions. If you have any questions for our panelists, we'll be glad to take them at the end of this, you know, innovation. How do you foster a culture of innovation within your organization? So with Innovative Gambia or Innovate Gambia, with the woman boss doing such amazing things as well in the area of FGM as well. How do you foster a culture of innovation within your organization, encouraging your team to think creatively and pursue innovation strategies as well?
So first, I want to give kudos to all the panelists. I've heard all of you guys, so it's amazing to be, you know, in a room, quote unquote room, with all of you guys to share this platform. To Bongai, hopefully I'm saying it right. I feel you. That's one of our programs that we do, FGM and child marriage, because we work with young girls in school. We've actually fostered and helped over 6,000 girls through FGM, gender-based violence, and child marriage and sexual violence. Also working with women entrepreneurs such as Luigi's chocolate owners. So, you know, we do that. So that's another form of innovation. And then for Nelly, I mean, that's just amazing because we work with girls in tech. So I just wanted to highlight a little bit about the woman boss. That way you see, because I feel like everybody on the platform right now, we have something that we also have a program within for them. So when I first left the United States in 2018, and I wanted to come back and give back to the community I love where I'm from, the Gambia. I thought about ways to think creatively to come back and to empower that. And what better way to empower than to create economic development and boost and help increase economic opportunities for women. And so that's the birth of Innovate Gambia, but within Innovate Gambia is the woman boss. So as the founder, I came in with this notion of creating opportunities for women through innovation, entrepreneurship, and leadership, and stop there. However, when I came into the country, I figured we have a gender-based violence issue really high, right? It's prevalent. For example, FGM is prevalent at 75%. We have child marriages in the country, girls as young as 12 and 13 getting married off. And I thought, okay, we got to come back and reshape. And so we added a component of gender equity. And so not only policy, but also going deep roots to try to see how we can fix that, because you can't expect women leaders to come and sit a position of power without really talking about the challenges and fixing those challenges, or at least finding solutions to those challenges. And so we came in with the gender component. So now we focus on 4 thematic areas, which is innovation, entrepreneurship, leadership, and gender equity. And so that meant that I had to create, now go back to your question, I had to create this team of creativity to be able to allow them to think outside the box. And it started with the board, right? So the board, you have to have diversity of thoughts. So the board all cannot be one age, they all cannot be one gender. So I do have men and women, I have young and old within the board. And then diversity of thoughts in terms of their backgrounds, where they're coming from, whether it's going to be from tech, whether it's going to from leadership positions of power, or let's say within the gender spectrum, et cetera, et cetera. And then you talk about the team. Obviously, I'm in my 40s, but my team, aside from the finance manager who's a male, it's all female led, and they are 25 and below, and just really powerhouses. So to bring that creativity of young girls that never left the country, some of them never left the country, they all were educated in the Gambia, made it in the Gambia, so smart, and doesn't have to necessarily feel like you had to go to the US or even in England and come back and bring that. So I allowed the freeness of the creativity from them, the flow of let's see what's happening on the ground. How do we help them? How do we create and curate certain curriculum that will be specific for the Gambian women? So when we go up country and we're talking about women entrepreneurs that are not even educated, that we can speak with them to their local languages and they can understand. When we go to urban parts of the country, when we're talking about certain programs that are US-led programs that are actually working for US entrepreneurs or other entrepreneurs around the globe in Africa, it would also resonate with them. And so it's just making sure that each environment you create that allow that creativity from women within the team to come in and curate something that will be specific for them. When we work with young girls in school, talking about gender or even leadership, because we focus heavily on leadership, because the only way we change and have all these systems really is to change the mindset of young girls and allow them to dream big. What representation matters. And just like Nelly said, right now they had an astronaut, now everybody's building. That's exactly how it feels when we go into these schools and we ask a simple question. When we go into the schools, a simple question would be, who here wants to be the president of the Gambia? And they all look around, girls cannot be president. And we're like, why not? Because again, that's not what they see. They think girls can be only certain things that you can check the box. And so then we start really delving into curriculum and talking. By the end of the session, we've literally created an entire cabinet from the president, vice president, who's going to be the minister of finance. No, I want to be this. No, I want to be this. And so you create that representation, like bringing them, this is who this is, and this is in Africa. This is who this person is, and this is in the Gambia. And so you're really bringing in, again, representation matters. Imagine if young girls could literally sit down today and listen to the talks today. Can you imagine the inspiration that they would get? Unfortunately, majority of them, especially if you go to rural parts of Africa, they don't have internet. They don't have access to certain things that you could say. So even if you want to put things on social media, they will not have access to that. The way you have to go is literally knocking on the doors and sitting with them, because within rural communities, you're talking about shoes being a problem, let alone internet. That's the least. So you have to go knocking on and really bring those things to them. So I commend everybody, and I hopefully answer that question. Again, just making sure you have diversity of thoughts, allow creativity, and allow the nurturing of women to all of it come out. And so hopefully that answers that. Thank you.
Diversity, creativity, nurturing. Thank you so much. That's amazing. The Woman Boss has a lot of branches, and this is so inspirational. I mean, just listening to what you're saying, I feel like, I'm just so inspired. I'm just so inspired. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for what you do. I see we have some hands raised up, and I know we have questions, because I'm sure we're wild. The audience is wild by this panel. So please just kindly give us some time. We'll soon be done with the questions. You could just type it in the chat, and once we're done with the questions, for our panelists, we'll take the questions, okay? But please make sure to also say which panelist you want the question to go to, so we know who to address, okay? Thank you so much, CEO Awamari. We'll still come back to you because we still want to know more. But I'll hand over to CEO Lumbi so we can go to our next panelist.
Wow, and that was incredible, Lukan. I like the representation of the youth and actually grooming them, and that really builds them up from start so that they know what to expect, that they are actually in control from the time they're young. They don't have to wait until they're old or older to participate in the global growth and economies. So I like that. I really like that diversity. So moving on to the next panel list is Shulu. This question is for you. Innovation requires continuous learning and adaptation. How do you cultivate a mindset of lifelong learning and experimentation within your entrepreneurial journey?
Okay, so I think one of the things that has been foundational in my my life, in my formative years, is I did the IB program, International Baccalaureate, and that is all about promoting lifelong learning. And it has carried me through to my entrepreneurial journey. And I'll just say, you know, the type of work that we do when we work with women, you know, sometimes education is not enough. I don't know if you've had conversations with some of your friends and you ask them, you know, they'll tell you, oh, I've got this amazing thing in my life that I want to do. I've got this idea. And then you come and meet them a year later, 2 years later. How is it going? I haven't yet started. I haven't yet started. They've got the tools, they've got the education, they've got the knowledge, but there's something else blocking them. And one of the things that we've really identified is that there is a direct link between education, between health and someone's success, right? And this could be a block in their mental health. It could be a block in their emotional, spiritual, physical health that's really stopping them from getting them to the level that we know they can get to. And where we come in is really to help them step past what may be blocking them. Maybe, you know, it's things like, you know, not believing you're worthy enough to be in a certain room, to be on a panel like this, right? And your opinion really matters. Your voice matters. It's having conversations with women about taking back control about their health, so as they actually have the energy and the, you know, the drive to be able to go out and do all the amazing things that they're doing. There's so many types of conversations that we're having with women. So in Africana Woman, there's two aspects. We have the podcast. On the podcast, we amplify women's stories and voices. We bring stories like all of the wonderful women on this podcast to, you know, tell them, to show and inspire other women that, you know what, look at this woman who went through these and these steps to get to where they want to be. So if they could do it, you can do it. Representation is so important. And, you know, sometimes it's so much easier to get to where you want to be when you can see someone else has done it, right? You know, as much as sometimes we're creating things out of thin air, but representation and being able to see yourself in someone else's story really does push the needle. And then when we talk about our programming, it's something, you know, when you talk about things like, emotional blocks, mental blocks, people don't even necessarily have the language, the emotional vocabulary to actually say what is going on in their minds, right? So we have to find a way to meet them where they are and then demonstrate to them how they can get out of whatever block is, you know, stopping them from thriving. So I remember when we started the book club, you know, you'd think that the book club is just like, you know, oh, we're just reading books and, you know, it's something quite simple. But it has been such a beautiful tool that we have used for, again, lifelong learning, because one, we're reading a lot of African literature. When we were in school, you know, we were reading all of these different books, you know, Jane Eyre and all of these foreign books. But to come and be an adult and be able to see yourself in the books that are being written, and then also to have a channel and the vocabulary to kind of express what you may be going through personally. It's such a beautiful space where we get to discuss we get to discuss the books in our book reviews, but really what we're talking about is life. And a lot of times when people are coming out of that space, they're thinking, oh, wow, that was very therapeutic. Oh, I learned something new. And, you know, so already that's like a stepping stone for how people are, you know, learning how they can develop as individuals, and they can, and even be inspired to say, okay, let me try and do something else. And then finally, I just wanted to mention, I think the nature of the work that we do is it requires creativity. It requires curiosity. We're speaking to women all the time. We're interviewing women. We're telling women stories. So there is always lifelong learning in that. And you cannot talk to the number of women that I speak to, especially on the podcast, and not change. Something does change within you. So, yeah.
That's truly amazing, Shulu. What you do is truly amazing. Everything that you touched on actually makes sense because most of the times we say we're going to start, you just never start. But like you say, we have to see ourselves in someone else's shoes or someone else's story and actually get started and be confident and have that confidence that we can actually do it, And that representation, I keep hearing this word representation, is key because, it allows us to also be creative and actually step into, step out and be bold enough to take the actions that we're afraid of taking. And we have to look at someone else and actually be inspired in order to inspire ourselves and inspire others. So thank you for that, Shulu. That's really amazing. So we're going to move on. I'm going to send it back to you, Coach Coach
Abigail.
Abigail, not Janine. She's not here.
Thank you.
CEO Abigail. Yes, CEO Abigail.
Thank you, Silumbi. So health is wealth. So truly, you're doing amazing with wellness. It's so important. I can't imagine myself doing anything without being in perfect shape health-wise. So that's amazing. And I see a lot of amazing things happening in the chat as well. A lot of people want to connect. Please keep it going. This is what this platform is about as well. In addition to raising awareness, we're hoping that women across Africa can also keep on connecting and networking. So we're coming back to you, COE. Again, I've read your story, and it's just amazing that, because it takes passion for you to want to go down to the source, to start from the source. And so I just want to know, please tell us, within, everything you're doing in the course of you starting up this business, Luigi's Chocolates, could you talk to us about a moment when failure or setback led to breakthrough innovation within your business venture? So, some sort of experience that you faced that, eventually led to a change in trajectory within your business.
Yeah, absolutely. I can. One thing that I think we all know is that, no matter how hard we try, no matter any situation, even no matter how great we are, essentially, failure is almost guaranteed, right? Like we'll all go through a moment where we go through some hardship or, we try something, but we don't succeed. And I'll definitely say, like you mentioned, there's a lot of passion for me in doing Luigi's Chocolate to go back to the source, to work with farmers. But there has, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, because it's led to a lot of innovation, but there's been a ton of failure. And I think the one example, well, there's a couple examples, but the one that I can think of initially is, like I mentioned, we produce chocolate entirely in Nigeria. And one of our core focuses is that we use, unique West African ingredients in our chocolate bars. So like our best sellers are like our ginger with plantain chips, or we have a spicy suya bar, which are like the two ones that are really popular that people really like. So that's amazing. But in the onset, when we wanted to start, we actually had a production partner that we were initially using to actually produce our chocolate. And I remember we were doing a lot of planning for like our initial production run after we had like a lot of pre-orders, because people were really excited for, like I mentioned, these specialty flavors. So I had a planned trip. I was going to Nigeria for an extended period of time to work with our manufacturer as we prepared for this production run. And, you know, as I don't know if I would call it a setback as far as what happened. It's a really sad story, but the all in all is to say something happened with our production partner. He wasn't in good health, and unfortunately, he actually passed away. And this is like a core part of our. He's basically the person who was meant to help us launch. We already had people who'd ordered, and it's out of my control, obviously. And it's someone who had become a friend as we worked together for this venture. And so he unfortunately passed away. And I thought, oh my gosh, I have, committed to doing this, launching at this time. I'm not even able to produce the chocolate that I've committed to people. And it taught me a couple lessons. It taught me that in life, you can't control everything, and at the end of the day, what I'm producing is chocolate, it's something for people to enjoy. But there's still more important things in life, as, Truly even mentioned, mental health, actual physical health and everything. So it taught me to recognize what's really important in life, I think that's true. And it also taught me from a business perspective, as far as risk management. So at this point now, we always have different partners for almost every aspect of our business, from all our raw materials. I mean, that's just as far as supply chain management. You just know that in order for your business to survive, you have to have multiple suppliers at every step of the way. And that's one thing that we're able to change from that. But of course, it set me back from our launch date. It set me back from a lot of things. And at that point, it seemed so dire. But it set my perspective on what's really important in life, like, people, health, well-being. And then it also, like I said, was fundamental in how now I structure the business for like proper risk management to make sure it can be sustainable. So it's a crazy story if I was to go through it, but that's just the overall thing. So I hope I answered your question.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That's amazing. So I'm getting what I'm getting from this. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. It's so important. Have a plan A, have a plan B as well. Don't get discouraged if plan A doesn't work. You keep moving, just like my network keeps kicking me out and I keep coming back. So yeah, let's keep pushing. Thank you so much. So we'll come back to you, but I'm getting a message that I think Madam Grace Caballo wants to say something to us because she's about to leave us. So please, would love to hear what she has to say. We'll come back to the panelists. Thank you. Ma'am, you're muted.
Okay. Are we on now?
Yes, we are.
Okay. I want to start by thanking you, ladies. Really, I'm so happy and excited and feel privileged to have found some little time to stay on and listen to whatever I have had tonight. Joy, I can't say thank you enough. Abigail and Lumbi are just amazing. But then the ladies who have contributed today, it's like you ladies are all touching the 7 priority areas of power. Because when we talk about the 7 priority areas, of course, peace and security is number 1 because we need it. But we also have food security. As women, we must bring food to the table. You are the happiest woman when your family is fed. And now I listen to my daughter Irene making chocolate. I'm sure if you came to Uganda, you'd be very popular because President Museveni is one strong activist for Africa's self-independence and production. He is practically grilling the investors and saying, why must you carry our coffee out there instead of bringing machinery here and create jobs for our people and also sell out the Africa brand? So Irene, you've just made my day. It's so exciting to see that a young girl like you, and guess where else could you have started? Chocolate, a candy for every young person. So that is also true of being strategic. because you are assured of all the young people's market. So as Powell, we do reach out. We have very strong network. I'm not shying away from that. Having, being as historical as we are, we engage at all levels, and being specialized agents of the African Union, we are actually in the inner circle of the closed sessions where we lobby at all government levels to change policy, to push what we need to be pushed, like when we were fighting for the gender parity. And my sister from the Gambia, we have been to the Gambia. We have very close ties there. What I want to say is that anybody on this panel, if you think that there is anything you would want Powell to do even before we sign the MOU, we are available. Our doors are open. Our sister from Zambia, we have Nyarazai. Nyarazai has now joined the UN, but she is one lady who brought the issue of the young marriages. And the AU appointed a special envoy for that. So, Bongai, you are not alone. You are not alone. Be sure that you have a partner whenever you need one. I would go on and on, but what can I do with time? And congratulations, because I can see we have had good turn up today. May I be allowed to say bye? But before I say bye, the struggle continues. The struggle continues. Like I said, one struggle, many fronts. So you are one of our many fronts. Remember that. And I will definitely share with Joy on the upcoming events. Maybe I should just mention the priority areas, because I mentioned only peace and security, agriculture and environment, education and health. Abigail, are you the one who said we need to be healthy to do anything? I think I picked that. But then we have water sourcing, construction and management. Why? Because water sources in Africa are one areas that are actually also insecure. The mileage that women and children trek to find water, it's sad. And in the process, they are raped, they are attacked, they are anything, and violence. Someone coming home and there's no water and it's your fault. So Powell picked it as one of the most priority areas to source water, construct it, manage it, and apparently in the process of managing it, it's a revenue collection for the women. So they earn some resources out of that. Then everything that we do, we are talking about Africa regional integration and the diaspora now. But whatever we do, we embed it with the Pan-African patriotic ideologies. Let's not lose our cultural values. Let's not lose ourselves to adopt what we want. I want to thank you so much. I want to thank you, and I'm sure that all the panelists I've seen today and before will be among the first members on the registration when we kick it off. Thank you so much, and may God bless you all.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. It's great to have you here. I wonder if Joy is still here. Ma'am, just before you leave us, we have some people asking in the chat how she is. Okay, all right.
Yes.
Okay, please go on.
Yes, Grace Kubera, there was a question there. That's right. Thank you again for joining us. Before you leave, this is a very good question. How can they join Powell? I can ask, you're muted. Can you hear us? Yes, there was a question for you. That how can our listener join Powell? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, great. So there was a question here before we let you go. How can the listeners join Powell?
That is a very exciting question.
Yes.
As we talk, we are in the process of unbooting our website to begin with. I think most of you have tried to search the website and you are disappointed, but it was intentional because we had a lot of amendments to do. We amended our constitution recently, we rebranded. So all that had to be put up to be updated for us before we can go on air. And that will be one source. But we also intend to open branches, registration sectors in the 6 regions of the continent. And we shall definitely advise you. It will be online, though the collection and the printing might be centralized for security purposes. Of course, security, fraud and crime and things like that. So definitely we'll reach out to you. By then we'll have signed our MOU. So your members will be the first members to join. And it will have to be this year. 2024 is the year to go.
Right.
But I want to assure the members that already I have them on my list through you.
Thank you. That's so true. And thank you for giving us that update, because I know you're opening up to the digital world where we are, and you're doing amazing work in that area, and looking forward to that. But opening these spaces, I've shared there all our WhatsApp link for those who haven't joined. We have YouTube and everything else that you can follow us, because as soon as Powell is open, you'll be the first people to jump on board. And I want to thank you so much, Honorable Grace Kabe. I think I should call you CEO as well. Everybody here is CEO. Yeah, and I know you're a CEO in your own.
I am CEO for the Pan-African Gender Association that laid me into the rest. But currently, I'm more the
exactly
focus. Otherwise, I would disappoint you.
Yes, I like that. I like that. Thank you so much. It was a great honor to have you here. Always a pleasure. Whenever we call you, you're always there. This is something that I'm so excited. Unfortunately, you're just across the border here of Kenya. I could have flown to Uganda, but I'm sure we will meet at the right time. And I'm looking forward to this year partnership with the Africa Women in Trade Awareness program that will be partnering with you, and excited of what is coming up, as well as we connect the whole continent of the Africa descent and also the African women on the continent. Thank you so much, and thank you for your time. Back to you, Abigail.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Great to have you here. So I'm going to hand back over to CEO Lumbi to just carry on with the next question for our next panelist. Thank you so much for your time. And I also see that questions are being answered in the chat. I'm so excited about what's happening there. Please keep on connecting and networking. Thank you. Back to you, CEO Lumbi.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. We really appreciate, Grace Obayo, our CEO, and everything that she said, and including us all, because this is inspiring inclusion. So she just said it on this day. So we are very inspired and included. We feel included with her organization. So I think if I'm right, are we on to? I just want to make sure.
Next question.
CEO Bongai. Okay, great. So CEO Bongai, back to you with your amazing work. That is very inspiring. Can you share a story where community engagement and feedback played a pivotal role in shaping your innovative initiatives, especially within your organization?
Absolutely. Thank you for that question. So with the work that I do, ending child marriages, now remember now in our country in Zimbabwe, we have the urban communities, we have the rural communities. So most of our girls that are married off to these old men, it usually happens in the rural communities, although it also happens in the urban communities, but it's mostly in the rural communities where a lot of the men and women there are still, I don't want to use the word backwards a little bit, but I don't know what word to use there. So the biggest challenge that I had when I started was to go in these communities and try to change the norm that was there for years and years and years. So remember now, in these communities, marrying your 12-year-old girl was something that was done, and to them, there was nothing wrong with that. As soon as your girl child turns, into puberty, all she has to do is to get married, and as they grow up, they start teaching them to be a good wife, to be a mother, and to be somebody who can manage, their home, but, they are still children. So it was really hard for me to go in these communities and change that mindset that your 12-year-old girl doesn't belong in a marriage. She belongs in school. She needs to go to school. We need to give her skills. And then remember, there's also the religious sector where some religions there in Zimbabwe, in these particular communities, they don't believe in educating their girls completely. So as soon as they, get, 10, 12, they're already groomed to be married. So these are some of the, biggest challenges that I came across as I started doing my work. But as I, talk to them and talk to the schools, talk to the teachers, I kind of build a rapport first with the teachers, and we introduce our work. We told them that, we'll give your girls scholarships so that they can go to school and continue on with school. And now we have to go into these communities. We have to go to talk to the chiefs of the, of these communities to tell them that, we are here to empower our girls. We are here to improve their lives, to improve the way they live. And it was difficult, but at this point now, more than 10 years later, we have built the rapport. I have talked with the communities, talked with the law enforcement leaders of those, the same language. We need to get our girls in school. We need to give them the skills so that they can support their family, because I believe that once you educate a girl, you are not only educating this girl, but you are educating her so that when she is done, she's going to make sure that herself is taken care of, her family is taken care of, her community is taken care of, her church is taken care of, and eventually the whole country benefits from her being able to go to school and getting an education. So a lot of the people that we are engaging, the community engagement that we are having is paying off now. They are all benefiting, especially the moms as well. They are my biggest fans, because most of these moms, they were also child brides. They were married, they were forced into these unwanted marriages. So they know the pain they went through. They know the hardships they endured. as child mothers, as young mothers. So obviously they don't want their children to go through the same thing that they went through. So the mothers are fighting with me. They are supporting me because they want their girls to go to school. They want their girls to get an education, to get the skills. And sometimes, when I go back and give them an example of one of the girls that had completed high school, maybe she went on to go to college, she's working now. Then we say, look at this girl. When we took her, she was about to get married, but look at her now. She is a pharmacist. She's a school teacher. She's now coming back and kind of, paid forward and support some other girls that are in her similar situation. So the community is starting to see now that this really is a good thing. If you educate your, girl child, you are going to benefit. So yeah, I have been, like breaking that barrier was one of the biggest challenges that I have. But I can happily say that now at this time, although it was challenging, but now the community support that I have is really paying off. And I hope that it continues to go on, and we continue to support more of these girls that we need to put in school. From the 140 that we have in the past, I hope by end of the next 2 years, I have 140 more girls that are in school because of the work that we are doing in these communities.
Well, that's amazing, Bongai. You're doing a fantastic job. I know that wasn't easy involving the stakeholders, but the fact that you did it, is what we're celebrating here today. You pushed the boundaries. You knew it was going to be hard, but you did not give up. Because what it takes sometimes, to move forward, you really have to work with the right people. Mm-hmm. And I see that you've included those right people. And if it wasn't because of that, you wouldn't be where you are. And you wouldn't have those girls, with scholarships, and you wouldn't have impacted like 140 students, girls. So yeah, I hope you, I wish you good luck. I see you making, empowering 140 more girls by end of this year, hopefully. Let's push for that. So thank you so much. I'll give it back to you. Abigail, it's back to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think young girls are really winning in this time because they have women who are taking up amazing initiatives like we have on this panel. It's really a blessing to have women like you thinking in this way in this time. Because it's going to help the next generation, really. Thinking back, years back, they probably didn't have someone who would, fight for them in that manner. But I'm so glad this is happening. So thank you all so much for everything that you're doing. Thank you, CEO Bongai, again. Okay, so please stay with us. We're coming to the end shortly. We also have an amazing announcement at the end, so please don't go. We're getting to the end of this. And I'm just going to pose the last question to CEO Nelly Cheboy. We're back to you now. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, great. For sticking around with us. So, could you please tell us, or could you give us an advice to aspiring female entrepreneurs who seek to blend innovation with social responsibility in their ventures, based on your experiences and successes? So what advice would you give to them?
She dropped from the call.
She dropped off? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes. She may connect, just to see if she connects. Okay. Just give her a second here.
She will join us again. But whilst we wait for her to come back, we'll just go around the panelists again and just get your final words to everyone. So starting again from you, CEO Awameri, could you please give us your final words? It's been amazing having you here and learning everything that the Woman Boss and Innovate Gambia is doing. I'm so inspired. So please give us your final words.
Again, thank you so much for having me. And on this Sunday, happy International Women's Month. My final words would be, especially as us women together, continue to empower each other, continue to sponsor or nurture, in this case, I guess, through coaching or mentoring a young girl or a woman, reach out, support one another, just be there and embrace and increase that sisterhood. I think it's very important. Increase innovation, keep up with technology, keep up with what's latest out here in not only in the community that you live in, but around the world, not only in Africa, but in other least developed nations, just to know what's happening. But that will be like the last parting words, to just, keep up with whatever's happening, but support your fellow women.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Please still, I hope you can still stick around with us till the end. It's been lovely having you here.
Nelly has joined.
We have Nelly back. So let's just take let us just give her a chance to take a question, and then we'll come back to our other panelists.
My phone died.
I see some questions have. Okay.
Can
Okay,
ask the
thank you.
question
Welcome
again?
back. Great to have you. Want me to ask the question again?
Yeah, I missed it. My
Yes.
phone died.
Okay. So I was just the last question I was asking was, what advice would you give to aspiring female entrepreneurs who seek to blend innovation with social responsibility in their ventures, based on your experiences and successes?
I think in general, just on a bigger scale, I think as women, we're always filled with self-doubt. There's always a statistic that says like a woman would look at an application qualifications and qualify 9 out of 10 and not apply. But a man might look at it and be like, hey, I only qualify for 1. I'm going to apply anyway. And I think over and over again, what I've come to learn is that it's okay to fail. As someone else in the panel has said, it's okay to fail. It's okay to try. Like it's like when you see it really looking good, it's because someone has worked really hard on it, and it takes a lot of work. Everything takes a lot of work. So whatever it is you want to do, if it's partnering innovation into, when you become okay with just failure and you become okay with starting and iterating, it's just so powerful. But it doesn't matter where you start, but if you start and you iterate, you can do wonders. But if you sit back and just like get overwhelmed, get filled with self-doubt, if you're filled with self-doubt, do it anyway. If you're scared, do it anyway. If your voice is shaking, do it anyway. Because when you start and you start iterating, you get so overwhelmed with progress, and it just inspires you to keep going. But if you sit back and try to wait for perfection, it just cripples you. So scared, afraid, filled with self-doubt, do it anyway.
Thank you so much. So let's not wait for perfection. My notes pad is full. I'm getting all the advice and all the inspiration. Thank you so much. Yeah, amazing. So we'll come back to you, Chulu, for your final words. Just before you go, I know we had some questions. I'm hoping that, because I see that, as questions were being asked, that panelists were also responding. So thank you so much for doing that as well. It's really been interactive in the chats. However, if you have any more questions, you could just indicate again. I'm sure most of our questions have been answered, but just because we want to keep the time, we'll keep pushing. So thank you. Back to you, CEO Chulu, for your final words.
Okay, thank you so much. It has been such a lovely afternoon listening to all of your stories and the impact that you are making, where you are in this world, and even further. I think my final words are really just to encourage you all to use your voice. Your voice is important. We need your voice for diversity. We need your voice because, you think uniquely, you think differently. And even though it may scare you in the moment, it's so important for you to actually speak up. So wherever you find yourself, even if it's in a church meeting, a meeting at your office, or, you find yourself on a platform speaking on a stage, please speak up, use your voice. Don't think that, well, no one will want to hear what I have to say. You never know what difference you can make by just using your voice. So that's my final word. Thank you so much. And please do connect with Africana Women. We are everywhere Africana woman.
Thank you so much. Amazing, amazing. Thank you. Please do well to do that. I think she posted some of her links in the chat. Yes, thank you so much. So we're gonna come to you now, COE. And whilst you're giving us your final words, could you please tell me where I can get the ginger plantain chips flavor and the suya one? Because I've never had that. I'm so fascinated by those flavors. So yeah, tell us where we can get your chocolates, please.
Yeah, I'll drop our links in the chat as well. So you guys can follow our journey, whether it's on social media or where you can order it on our website. But like everyone mentioned, so thankful, and I feel honestly honored to have listened to everything you all shared. I'm leaving here feeling inspired. It's just now afternoon, and I feel like it was a great way for me to start off my day personally. And I can leave you guys, there's this quote that we actually like to share. And it says, until the lion learns to write, every story will glorify the hunter. And so similar to what Truce shared, I think I've also learned just the power of telling our story. And I feel like the African story, the West African story, the African woman story, it's like, this is the time for us to share it. It's so, so important right now. So I think I'll just leave you guys with that, and I'll drop our links in the chat. Thank you.
Much. Back to you, Lumbi.
Have we heard from everybody, their final words? I think our CEO.
I would like to pronounce her name.
Oh, yes.
Because I don't.
Mungai Muhloi. It's now your
words.
turn to say your final words. Mr.
Okay.
Muhloi. CEO Muhloi.
Thank you so much. It was just amazing to be here with hearing all these women saying stuff. But my last word, I would like to quote that proverb that it resonates with me so much, that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with others. So I like to invite everyone. I cannot do anything by myself, but I invite every woman here to go with me, so that we can, together we can change the world. As women, we have the power to do that. We can change the world one girl at a time, one woman at a time. We are here to inspire each other, to motivate each other, to encourage each other. We are here to fix one another's crowns, not to put anybody down. So I was just honored to be here. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share my story and to listen to all these amazing women and their stories. I would like to know where I can get my chocolate bar from Lynn. If I can get it from the United States, I don't know. But thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Mungai. I think we can move on to Nelly Chaboy, right?
Thank you. So we're back to you, CEO Nelly Chaboy. You answered your last question. However, we would still like to know if you have any final words for us. It's been amazing having you here.
I think for me, it's always, whatever it is, just start, because progress is intoxicating. You just start.
Start. If that's one thing we take out as well, I mean, all our panelists have given me the amazing words. So please, let's just start. Whatever it is that you want to do, just start. Thank you so much for that. So it's been an amazing afternoon, evening here in my end. Such an inspirational session. Always like this. We've been posting some links in the chat. We also had this panel discussion sometime last year. We also had amazing panelists as well, and some of them joined us here. I can see some of them in the chat. So please, anytime you're getting low on inspiration, just go on our YouTube page, and I'm telling you that you're going to be inspired by what African women are doing. So thank you all so much. I'm going to hand back over to Joy. Joy, are you there? Because we're getting to the end of the program now.
Yes, thank you. Thank you all our panelists. Great work. And thank you, Lumbi. Thank you, Abigail. You did a fantastic work despite the technology issue. And I can see even myself, I was caught up in that. Welcome to Africa, and but we are moving it. We are not gonna be scared about that. And there's the inspiration stories that I've had here is amazing, and the work that you're doing as CEOs. And I always say, a CEO didn't just wake up overnight and just started. I mean, they had to work hard, and they had to start from nothing to something. So what I'm going to also encourage everyone who's listening from all our listeners, listen, follow up their step, let them tell you their challenges, which we didn't go to that next time. There's always challenges, but you always overcome them. And I'm sure they worked with a lot of people in their team, as you had like I always say Ubuntu. I take this African, the South African or South African side statement, Ubuntu, where I am because we are, because it's all about women working together. I always believe women work in packs, in groups, and in that way we support each other, because one person is good in one thing, one person in the other thing, and we can pull each other up. That is something I've done. I've worked with women over 15 years now. And I'm very excited every time when I see another woman doing a great work. I know I look younger than her, but yes, of course, I have been in this space for women, and I'm always glad to support any woman anywhere on earth. So I've seen all those chats in there from everybody all over the world. And please follow up those links that you have seen there, and also follow up on ours as well, and link up with our CEOs, because there's always something to learn. Probably even there's a job somewhere. Let me just say it here aloud. All these CEOs have jobs for you. So you never know where you're gonna land. So have an open mind when you're approaching or listening to all these CEOs you're seeing here, because they're doing amazing. Thank you so much from my side for accepting our call for this awareness, Africa Women's Day Awareness Program that is going on, as you have heard from our leader there, Honorable Grace Cavallo. She has welcomed all of you on board. So this is not take for granted. It's the highest level you can get in the African Union. So it's a space that you should own. And you want to go into the politics side, there is a space for you, all those who are listening as well. So jump on board. Let's jump on board whenever they are ready, and we'll be there to announce to you as soon as it's possible. And we will be inviting her to do the announcement. So keep following us as well, so that you're informed. So thank you. And we go to the next part, where I think Abigail and I are going now to give you a highlight. 2024, what do we have for you? Because 2024, as you have seen the routine, the 2023 was about CEOs. And if you have missed most of our 2 to 3 years back, you'll find that we have had a lot of topics highlighting, and we had a president and vice presidents of Africa. You will not believe it. There are 41 of them. We have a video recorded and a spotlight as well. We have also the unsung heroine, and we also had recently the CEO, which was 20. And now what is coming up in 2024 is very, very exciting, and I want to share with you, because this is a opportunity for you to also take part and help us to move to the next level. So in that order, I'll just give you a highlight what we will be talking about in 2024. We have a very, very a topic that we are excited. I'm going to share with you. Hopefully I will be able to. The flyer is already out. Yes, our Abigail has been working very, very hard. And 2024 is the announcement. We want to share with you what will be the topics for, that means July. We always start from July all the way to 31st and celebrate on 31st of July. So we spotlight women every day. And this is one of the agenda for this year. It will be, as you can see on the screen, we'll be talking about the Africa women rooted in climate change awareness. We will be celebrating African women leading in the climate change. I hope you can still see the screen. Let me know that. Abigail, can you see the screen? Okay, great. And then also why climate change? The Earth capacity is sustain life. Life is rapidly diminishing, primarily due to the environment changes. driven by human activities such as chemical pollution, land use alteration, and unplanned urbanization. These changes manifest in various forms, including modifications of oceans and waters resources, with climate change emerging as a paramount global concern, necessitating immediate intervention to mitigation its profound repercussions. So this topic will be the one leading us for next year, and I'm very glad to say that Africa Women's Day, we will not be left out. We'll be working with women rooted in climate change awareness, stands as a tribute to the extraordinary endeavors of African women living in the climate change awareness and action. So throughout the month of July 2024, from the 1st to the 31st, we will illuminate the collective influence weighted by 31 African women, highlighting their contribution to fostering climate resilience and promoting sustainable practices. In a world gaping of solution, these women they will be showcased here because of their deeply embedded in the African heritage, in the embracing the resilience of the climate change that is happening, as we can all see. So several key guidance principles of African Union climate change and resilience development strategy and action plan emphasize the commitment to leave no one behind and ensure that the initiative is African-led and African-owned. Hence, the African Women's Day Awareness Team has undertaken the significant responsibility of shedding light on this paramount theme this year. So in alignment with this year's African Women's Day Celebration Day, in harmony with the objectives of African Union Agenda 2063, please familiarize yourself with the Agenda 2063. We are resonated in our commitment in inclusivity, going green, and harmonizing our voices with those of those exceptional African women in this realm. We aim to enhance awareness about the current situation and facilitate impactfulness conversation, educating more Africans on measures to fortify our climate resilience, with the assurance that this will galvanize greater numbers of Africans to undertake meaningful actions. So this is what we'll be doing in the month of July, and we ask you, all of you, to jump on board with us. Let's take part in pushing this agenda forward. We will be quite active. You'll see as we start right from this. So we finished the session of CEOs, and now we're going now to the climate change. So let me hand over to our coordinator, who will give us a highlight how you can take part and support in the upcoming 2024 Africa Women's Day Awareness Program. Back to you, Abigail.
Thank you so much, Joy. Thank you so much, Joy. Amazing introduction. So yes, it's really amazing because, in line with the theme of this year's International Women's Day, the slogan, if I may say, it's inspire inclusion. And we're committed to doing that, just like Joy has mentioned. And I already see people saying Happy Africa's Women's Day in the chats in advance. Thank you so much. This is why we're here, to keep raising awareness. So July 31st, please have that in mind. Every July 31st is Africa's Women's Day. Just like you have International Women's Day, we have a day for African women. So why not make it louder? Why not, showcase what we're doing? It's been amazing. And just like CEO Chulu had said, she said, use your voices, right? So this is
unfortunately, she's dropped. We still have to continue with this, but yes, just to give you, just to give up just a little bit information of the work that Abigail is doing, also together with the team, and the team is ongoing, and I'm looking forward to the partnership this year. And we'll be very excited to have you on board and the different way you can also be part of it. We are looking up for partnership. As you can see, we are partnering with the Power right from the beginning. And during giving you a small story, just to also encourage you how we got to work with Power. And I know she's not here, but she knows the story, is that we didn't know that the day existed. We were just doing our own, like, International Day, supporting ourselves. And we realized there are a lot of organizations or people out there don't know about the existence of this day, which is over 63 years old. Trust me. So we started within ourselves, trying to market, make it awareness, and we got to know about Power, and we joined hands. And this story, why I'm telling you that, is to tell you, just start from where you are. And as CEO Nelly mentioned there about technology, you have to start from where you are. Everybody here is solving a solution. So you too, you can also solve a solution. And if you want, you cannot, you can join others who are doing similar things. So instead of reinventing the wheel. So that's what we did. And we worked with the Power. And now we are looking forward to also more partnership in terms of financial support, because a lot of intense capital as they're moving. We are still in virtual. We have not managed to go in person, but probably in the future, but also working together with the Power organization. And you can be part of another part. You can also support us, recognize any woman. Let me know if Abigail, you're here, so that I can add you, and any other woman out there who has done great work in the climate change. And I'll add as well Lumbi, CEO Lumbi as well on the spot here, so that she can also contribute, because she's also part of that program, since we have missed our Madam CEO Abigail, to continue to mention a little bit what we should be expecting, and what the women can also expect during the 31st of July, especially the month of July. Also, I know you, because you're also very active there as well. I think we're having some noises. I'll just mute.
Yeah, okay. I am off mute now. So for the month of July, we're looking for people in climate. So we're hoping that, we can get like 31 people, like we're saying, that are actually driving actions in the climate sector. Like, for example, mine is water, and that's environment. Talk about it. It's really environment that we're working with. So somebody else could be in biogas. So it could be anything that has to do with the climate, a clean environment, recycling and all kinds of things. So we're looking for those kind of people. So if you know someone like that, please just send email and the name of a person or their link to the email that is shared here on the in the chat, so that we can connect with those people and invite them to present on the month of July. So it's going to be a hustle, but the sooner we start, the better. So that's why we're reaching out to you. That's how you can partner with us here by helping us identify those individuals who we can involve in the climate discussions in the month of July. I see that Abigail is back, and I know she had something to say. So
yes,
Abigail.
I am. Thank you so much. Stronger than the African network. So yeah. So I was just as I was saying before I got kicked out, I'm sure CEO Lumbi and also CEO Joy have said everything. However, the nominations are really important, because it gives us the chance to know more of these women in this space, okay, who are doing things, really changing the whole space of creating climate change awareness. I have posted a link in the chat. Please feel free to follow this link to register for the event, get to know more about the event, and also you find a nomination link there as well that will take you to a nomination form where you could fill out the details of who you want to nominate to be spotlighted in the month of July. But she has to be someone who is doing something actively within the climate change awareness space. So this is important, and it promises to be an amazing session. It's been an eye opener. It's very enlightening. We need to use our voices. Like I was just saying before I got kicked out, CEO Chulu had said we need to use our voices. So I think this is a chance for us to also use our voices because you'd find that climate change, affects a lot of things, to health-related, economy, every aspect is related to climate change. So if we don't start creating more awareness about this, and little wonder why, world leaders and a lot of organizations are, taking part in trying to raise awareness about this issue as well. So please follow the links that you see in the chat to register to nominate a woman within that space. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you as well for chipping in there. And we are working very hard on that to connect with you as well. As we grow on, we'll be having quarterly webinar coming up as well from now on, bringing you awareness of the day before the month of July, as we go on with the month of July and celebrating together again on 31st of July. So I will go ahead back now to closing, and I can see a lot of comments there. I want to recognize all of you. Thank you for amazing session. Thank you, Melody. This has been amazing and inspiring afternoon. Thank you to all of the empowering and smart panelists. It has been enlightening as well for some ladies there. Jillian, thank you for that. I'm into planting trees on riverbeds, and these are plums trees. I think that was the word she wanted to say. You can always connect with her as well, so feel free to do that. So as we close down, if there's any other comment, I just want to give a chance for anyone who want to lift up their hand, say something for us. I give two people an opportunity. You can raise up your hand or unmute yourself to say a comment, because I want to also to appreciate your time here as well. If you can lift up your hand, Grace, go ahead, Grace, and please have your camera on. Make sure you're able to be on the camera so that we can add you here for others to see you. Grace, put on your camera on if that's possible. I'm looking for two people. Please go ahead. There you are. I'll add you here. Well done. I can see Lynn has also added. So Grace, go ahead. I'll add you here on the spotlight. Hi, Grace. How are you? Where are you listening us from? Please unmute yourself.
For that. So I'm Grace Akinyi. I'm originally Kenyan, but currently I'm a student at the University of Edinburgh. I'm doing innovation and entrepreneurship. So really the topic on innovation and women is something that really speaks to me. And I've learned so much. I wasn't prepared for I didn't know it would turn out this well. So I've been listening a lot. I'm part of the UN UK delegate for this year, and I'm trying to see how I can leverage the networks that I'm having, and even my experience here in Scotland, to give back to my community back in Kenya. So I'm trying to listen to how other women leaders are doing it. And I must say that I'm so happy so far. Thank you so much for this invitation. I connected through Mlambo, the water lady. Thank you so much. I think I'll keep on following more of you. I want to learn from you. I want to give back like you're doing, and keep on doing things like this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate you for being here. Thank you for connecting.
Thank you.
And I would like to work with you. Definitely. Yes.
Thank you so much, Grace. That's very honored. I'm going to leave Engineer. I think you were the first person to join here this conversation. You can put your camera on so that I'm able to add you here. I can see I'm seeing Engineer Lightness. You're going to introduce yourself. I'll just add you on this spot. I've already blessed you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. I'm so happy and grateful to be part of these conversations, because I was just sitting inside. I'm from Tanzania, first of all, and but I'm now in US for just 3 weeks. And I'm the country head of the Commonwealth Business Women Network in Tanzanian chapter, and also Africa Women in Leadership Organization. And I'm also part of the Secretariat of Power in Tanzania. So I'm so happy to hear about Grace, Honorable Grace, and everybody. Indeed, these kind of conversations are highly needed because that's how we connect and collaborate, because that's what we need as women. We need to ensure that we collaborate more and create that synergy that will help each other in each country to boost ourselves and support our communities. So I'm so happy and I'm so blessed to be in this particular webinar today, but also into also climate change. So we advocating taking care of the riverbeds by planting palm trees, because we want to plant the trees that women and youth can harvest in the future and make a sustainable development, because we felt like apart from the carbon credit, but also they need to have funds and to secure their financials. So thank you very much, Joy, and everybody, and I wish you great success for 2024.
Thank you. Thank you as well. We'll be coming to join you up on the power, so I'm looking forward to that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
So now back to, I don't know whether I should give one more person. I know we are very tight on time. We're already beyond 2 hours, another half hour gone. Some people like Lumbi, they're already in the morning hours and they're going to church. So if there anyone burning question, only one I can see, there you go. I'll add you, Jill Marie. I hope I pronounce you right. I'll add you on the spot so that you can share with us.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's morning here in Los Angeles, California. Yes, I want to say thank you to Milka for working with me to become a viable member of African Women in Trade. My services are, my reason for joining African Women in Trade is to share the good news about the new rules of digital trade, which is paperless trade. And many women are doing cash and carry. They're still doing the regular types of trade with the world, but they're not really succeeding the way that they could because of all the paperwork, corruption, bribery, and bank fees. Well, paperless trade through the International Chamber of Commerce is now in session. It is now not in session, but is now a viable source since 2022. So in the United States, when the slaves were freed, it took 2 years for many of the slaves to find out that they were really free. And that's called the Juneteenth celebration. Well, this is Juneteenth to me because many women do not realize that they don't have to use papers and they don't have to go around with a middleman. They can now trade directly with large companies and large buyers. We will get with that later. My number one passion is health. Your health is your first wealth. Without health, you cannot do anything. So I put a lot of information in the chat. I am on the executive board of the team of scientists around the world that have discovered medicinal mushroom blends that are in a powder form, and it completely eradicates completely eradicates disease from your body. And anything from mental issues like dementia, Alzheimer's, all kinds of schizophrenia, bipolarism, addictions completely go away once you start putting medicinal mushrooms in your body. Cancers go away and they don't come back unless you don't have a great diet. So our food is our medicine. That's my number one health reason for living. But the number two is this trade that I'm showing here. I put everything in the chat. I want to connect with some of the women because the water issue is very important. And a good friend of mine has innovated, and I think that's you, Madam from Kenya, where I lived in 2014. I love Kenya. The water machine brings water directly from the air, moisture from the air, and turns it into a river of fresh water. So I'd like to talk with anyone about that, because without water and health, we just can't make it. So I just want to say thank you, Miss Joy. And thank you, Madam. Oh, the beautiful names, Lumbee, and
Yes.
everyone, and especially the beautiful sister from the African Union with PAW. Oh, Pale. I can't wait to join. So thank you from California. I'm moving to Ghana to rest my soul there the rest of my life. So I'm getting my life in order to get back on the African continent and stay. So I'll really be there. Thank you. Love you all. God bless you. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yes, some people who haven't known, I have so many sides of me, and the Africa Women in Trade, that's what Madame Dylan is talking about. And I'm very excited that the opportunities here for trade, the social side, the economical side, every angle we are looking at it at Africa Women Day. We are open for that. I understand there's a Lean who had raised her hand up, the last one. We have two Leans here. Okay, let me see. Yes, there's that. You have put it. I guess that's the Lean. Yes, welcome. You're our last one to give us your feedback, your comments. The stage is yours, Lean.
Thank you so much, ladies, for this platform. We've learned a lot. However, if we could improve in the next one, please really look at the questions that are being put in the chat. We missed out on a lot of information that we would have learned from, because I think we took it for granted that people are communicating, but we would have wanted to interact more. Madam Bongai, please can we have your contact? You just gave us your website. We really want to get in touch with you and learn from you. Thank you again, ladies.
Thank you too. Thank you for that comment. And we are looking, we pay more attention to that. And we're working on that in the future as well. We have always been very, very careful with questions and answers. That's very important for us, and that's how we grow. That's how we grow. Thank you for that. And just as we finish up, thank you everyone for your time, being patient with us. It's not easy. 39 of you are still here. You had over 50 or 100 people joining in and out. Thank you for your time. I'll hand over to Lumbee to give our closing remarks, and also to Abigail, and I'll give you more information of the next meeting that will be coming up. Thank you. Back over to you, Lumbee. CEO
Yes,
Lumbee.
Thank you so much, everybody. I'm known as the Water Lady. So the Water Lady is saying her final words. And I just want to thank everybody for attending here today, because it's all about inclusion, right? And I hope that we've included you. And if we didn't answer your questions, please reach out to us, and we'll be very, very glad to answer those questions, even on social media, so that everybody can see the answers to those questions. But I do want to also say that as we celebrate women, that I want to also celebrate the people that actually, made us, for example, with the water. In my case, I want to say thank you to everybody this month that is making water accessible to 500 students in Zimbabwe. And I'm going to read their names really quick so far. It's Dr. Shirley Clark, Kennedy, Kimberly, Delaney, Cassandra Thomas, April Cotton Cantrell, Pei Ming Sun, Michelle Wise Wright, Tara Hodges, Sarah Abbas, Kayla Payne, Nigel, and Sai, and Kanti Suresh Shetty. Thank you all so much for your support to get water in Zimbabwe. We are actually in the process of having that water, installed this month, and you're going to see it live. So I want to thank you for that. And I want to thank this organization as well, AWD, Africa Women's, Africa Women's Day, for this amazing event that we're putting each time every year throughout the year to stay connected. And I hope that we can actually include everyone this way and grow. And like we said, we do need funding to operate. So I hope you guys take advantage to donate so that we can continue. supporting you and putting you on this big platform and everybody else. So thank you so much for your attendance here today. And thank you all the panelists for being amazing, fantastic as usual. You guys have been just awesome. Thank you. So back to you. I want to give it back to
hand
you.
over to Abigail, as I hand over to Abigail, could I ask all those people who are remaining to leave one statement on the chat, what their takeaway is today? Just one statement on the chat, on the chat saying what is your takeaway today? That's also very important as we share out here. Back to you, Abigail, CEO.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Siolumbi. This has been, as always, we've had so many sessions like this, you know, in the years of planning all these awareness webinars. And I must say that, as always, I'm inspired. This is a way of investing in ourselves. Like the theme for this year is, you know, investing in women, accelerating growth. This is one way to invest in yourself, to keep building yourself. I'll just say, let's not sleep on the African continent. You know, a lot of us are very eager to, you know, travel out and, you know, experience the West and all of that, but there's so much potential in Africa, which I'm coming to realize. I must say that this platform has opened my eyes in so many ways about Africa and what we can do as Africans and what we're doing as Africans. So let's not sleep on this continent. Let's keep on doing the most that we can to push Africa forward and make our own impacts one way or the other. So I just want to say thank you so much to everyone that has come to join us this Sunday. And I think it's also Mothering Sunday in some places. I just want to say happy Mother's Day to all mothers. If you have any mothers on the call, we're so happy to have you here. And we hope that you can be with us on the 31st of July and also participate in, you know, our spotlighting events throughout the month of July. And yes, just let's keep winning. Thank you so much. I'll give it back to Joy, the project leader. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And I'm going to go read all your comments just to give you acknowledgement that you're here. And if I miss any one of you, help me to do that. So takeaway from the group is statement. The first one is for Chulu. Forgive me if I pronounce wrong, but I'll try my best. Progress is intoxicating. Thank you so much. Dr. Mamode Mokabo, do it anyway, just start. That's very true. You have to start now. Whatever it is, just start. That is from Farai. And also we have from Lean, women, if we support each other together, we will go far. That's correct. Mesret, it's upon us to change the lives of those around us. You are an inspiration. Thank you so much, Mesret. And then we also have some contacts there shared. We also have takeaway is unified women is a valuable, sustainable answer to this world's issue. I am all in. Thank you so much. Quite an inspiration session. Happy Women's Day to us. One love. That thanks to you as well, Dr. Chindima. And then we also have another one for MSB in hospitality. The future is absolutely African women to the world. Accelerating, progressing for real. One woman at a time. Love that statement. Thank you so much. That came from the MSB in hospital. So from Judith and Nelson, my last comment with regards to water, I've noticed that boreholes are being dug in Africa for water. It's important that pipelines are laid to reach these messages for you, I think. And she also mentioned that it will help to save time, especially for women who are collecting their water, and give a session of dignity. Have a good day, everyone. Proud African and proud South African. Judith, well done. Thank you for sharing that. Gladys, it's great to listen to sisters with great vision across the world. My takeaway is that progress is intoxicating. That's true. And from Nancy Dalla, we need to collaborate as women to progress. And from Anna, don't wait for perfection, just start. And she gave her email there. And then we have Lillian Stefan. One takeaway from this session, we should help each other and ensure we add value to one another on someone's success. So true. And another one from Balatito, if I said right, there's an email contact there. We follow up with all this. And then just start now from Alice. Take away seeing connections and building even more connections. I was with women NGO leaders on a global environment conference already in 1991. All 10 tests for you. I think I've already read that from Petra. Oh, that's my friend from Germany. Thank you for joining. And I've been seeing you popping up here with videos. Thank you for joining. Thank you to all amazing, inspiring women from Dr. Harriet Campbell and from Caroline. Women, be resilient and focused. And then we have should be women of impact. We should be women of impact. And the last one, but not least, let's get water machine to draw water for thin air. There you go. Thank you so much. I wanted to go through that to appreciate your time here. And I want to give you a thank you for your time evening. I know you're in different zones. Some of us are going to bed, others are waking up. Some of us are in the middle of the day. Thank you for making it. Don't forget, we have shared all our information and CEO Abigail will share again the links there with you. Follow us throughout on our social platform. And I always say Ubuntu I am because we are. And please, let's start today, not tomorrow, whatever it is, with whatever you have around you, start with that. And another woman will be there to boost you up. And the most important, network with the right groups. And if you're here, you made the right choice. And I want to salute you and I wish you a good evening and see you again. So we'll be having every quarterly, we'll be having a meeting. So the next one, I believe, is in which month, Abigail? We are in March now.
We'll event in July.
In July, before July, we will be having small awareness programs as well to invite you as well to you'll be hearing us quite a lot, and we'll be networking. So reach out to you, and I want to thank you again and see you again next time, and follow us on YouTube channel to see all our programs. Thank you and God bless you. Have a lovely evening Sunday. Bye-bye for now.
We will now play our lovely video.
And again, the exhibition. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to play the lovely video. Hopefully this time the network is not going to be mean.
Yes.
So let's see if we can get that.